Hello there YouTube, my name is Juggy and today I'm bringing you a video which I've entitled Engineering Win. Today I'm playing some Battlefield 3, playing some Conquest on Caspian border, and my apologies that it's another Caspian gameplay. No helicopter, I don't think any helicopter gameplay in this. Today I'm playing the Engineer kit, something I don't do very often, and well, as a result I decided to call this video Engineering Win. Yes, the bad puns start to roll in, so... The Engineer is a class which not only sort of amazes me at how versatile it can be, but infuriates me on how little it's used. And you might go, well, what the hell are you on about, Chuck? I see, 5 or 6 Engineers on my team all the time. And yes, so do I, but the problem is, as far as, I don't know, the game, or certainly I see it, the Engineer kit isn't being played properly. At the core of being an Engineer, your role is to break stuff, and to fix them. And you're given tools to do that. You're given an RPG or a spore or a javelin, whatever you want to use, to destroy vehicles, and a repair tool by default to fix vehicles. And that, in a nutshell, is what the Engineer class should be. Deny the enemy vehicles, keep your vehicles in the fight. However, as we can all know, or certainly I've had several experiences of this, unfortunately, we've all been in games where the Engineer will not play its role effectively. I mean, a number of times I've been in games where, I've been playing, say, I normally play a recon class. I've been sniping, doing my reconnaissance as I should be, but I'm, the team's having its arse handed to it by vehicles, because Engineers aren't attacking, doing whatever they need to do, and I've gone, right, okay, I need to change. So I'll change to an Engineer, destroy the vehicles, and then switch back when I die. Rinse, repeat. That's pretty much how I got my service star in the Engineer kit. I don't normally play it. So I was kind of interested to see why this was the situation. Was there like a balance problem in the game? Was there, our vehicles sponging or anything like this? And well, I've got my conclusions, as it were. And well, I played 5 or 6 games as the Engineer back to back, and well, this was one of them. And the reason I decided to use this gameplay is not only does it show a lot of me destroying vehicles, actually not that much of me fixing vehicles, you see a little bit, but primarily that when you use, well, to be honest, any kit properly, you will easily shoot to the top of the leaderboard. And I'm not going to spoil the end score, KD, whatever you want to know about it yet, but you'll see that by playing, your kit to its fullest, you will be a force to be reckoned with. And to be honest, the only way you can deal with, say, a really effective Engineer is for the team to have a really effective Engineer, just to counter you out. Anyway. So the Engineer, what do you need to do? Well, as I've said, it's primarily a fix stuff, break stuff kit. And within Battlefield 3, you as an Engineer have the absolute, utter, unique ability to be able to not only engage vehicles, but destroy them with confidence. Well, what do I mean by confidence then? Well, you might argue that other kits do have the ability, certainly, to damage vehicles, and even in some of the sort of lighter vehicles cases, let's say, Jeeps, things like that, also destroy them. An assault guy could use the M320 grenade launcher, the support could be packed C4, all very valid and good uses of those bits of equipment to deal with threats, be it vehicle or otherwise. But the thing is that the Engineer could actively stand in front of a tank, and as long as as long as they're a little bit clever in the way that they move, continue to hit that tank and destroy it outright. The tank could have no answer for it. It's a very powerful kit, but the thing is, certainly as I've not only played Battlefield, but played an Engineer, I've seen that people just aren't using it to its fullest. And I can't really think of a reason why. From the time that I've played the Engineer kit sort of solidly, it's just as good as ever. I think that's the way I would put it. There's no issue of, say, vehicles, needing to have 5 or 6 rockets to destroy them or anything like that. Although, having said that, I should probably make you aware of something. I think it's pretty well documented at this point, though, that Battlefield 3 has a new kind of destruction. Obviously, Frostbite 2 does a lot of stuff, but another thing that Battlefield 3 features within its destruction is location-based destruction. I don't know if the vehicles sort of map on directly like this, but I don't know. We'll see. But essentially, if you hit, say, a tank in the front armor, 90 degrees, looking dead on, you will do, let's say, 20 damage. I think it's about that. So 20 or 22. damage to that tank, and thus, say you're running the explosives upgrade, I think you get 9 rockets or so. So you should be able to deal with that tank in 5 rockets. Quite a lot, I think you'll agree. Now, if you were to attack a tank and fire a rocket into the side armor, be it left or right, you'll do about, I think it's 40 damage a rocket. So you can go, okay, I see. So there's, the armor or something on the side's a bit weaker. Fair enough. Now here's the kicker: if you shoot a tank directly 90 degrees into the rear armor, where the engine is, you'll do a massive 60 damage a rocket. And obviously you can do the math there. You get 1 in the side and 1 in the back. You will destroy a tank in 2 rockets. Sounds a lot better than the 5 before, right? It's something which I don't know if either people know about and just aren't able to use, so it's more a matter of how to move around a tank, or if people just aren't aware of it in general. But certainly, hitting a target in the right place can warrant, destroy almost, instant disables in the case of hitting a tank in the back like that. And obviously, the second the tank's disabled, it's even more of a giant sitting duck than it was before. So, something to be aware of when you're, going to destroy vehicles, I guess, is, hit them in the right places, and all the vehicles have damage locations like that. The tank is definitely the most obvious one, where you can see that in real time, because obviously it's a big bugger, it's built big, it's designed to take a lot of damage. I think certainly with recent patches and things, and I might talk about this a bit later, for example, all helicopters now, I believe, take, 1 tank shell, say, to them, and they'll instantly be destroyed now, whereas before they would go straight to disable. It's not quite modeled in the same way across all the vehicles, but on the whole, this location-based destruction plays a big role. And certainly when I was playing it, as long as you're aware of that, you try and move a bit sneakily. So, for example, when I was moving up to sea, per se, you saw that I saw a tank. I was kind of like, okay, I can engage this tank now, hit it in the side armor. Obviously I'm going to take 40 damage. But what I tried to do, and unfortunately my aim was a little off, was hit it in the rear, so then it would be disabled. Unfortunately I missed. I guess that's just a case of waiting for, the environment to play out around you and picking your moment. But certainly, it's just a case of, being patient and using the environment the best you can. Now here's a perfect timing. Great example. So I've just spawned here at the C5, obviously being taken by a tank and some infantry, by the looks of it. And as it just so happens, I'm on the side of this tank. As ironically, an engineer runs away. Dude, where's your launcher, man? So I'm on the side of this tank, and as it so happens, hitting it a couple times done a heck of a lot of damage. By the looks of it, they've had people repairing. It's now smoking, disabled, and I've taken out 2 infantry in a nice little spray down there. And the tank is now dealt with, it's gone. It's actually blown up. I saw a load of assist points, so I guess that engineer did do something. Fair play to him, I'll take that comment back. But note what we're doing here now. We're cleaning up. We're taking the flag back. Because we've dealt with, if you will, the primary threat, which is the vehicle. Because the vehicle will kick the living crap out of all infantry other than the engineer, as long as you use the engineer properly. We're cleaning house. And, 1, 2, there's 3, 4 where I'm stood, 5, infantry, which I've been involved in killing. Piece of cake. Absolute piece of cake. The way that sort of, if you will, if cat eats mouse, dogs eat cat. Vehicles eat all infantry. Engineer eats vehicle, and it's kind of a cyclical loop. So if you've got an unaware engineer not knowing what they're doing, they'll be killed by a vehicle just as well as everything else. And as you can see here again, I'm trying to get behind this tank and actually try and get a bit cocky. I think I got that 120mm round in the legs. Yeah, an unaware engineer would just be as easy prey as any other form of infantry in the game, be it recon, whatever else. But an aware engineer can quite easily destroy vehicles with no problem. And of course, me being me, I'm a stubborn bastard. I want that guy in that tank dead. So I don't know quite where he goes at this point. I see the tank, I'm going, I should fix this and steal it. And then I see another tank. So back we go. And rinse, repeat. So essentially, there's no real trick to playing the engineer. You are the best chance of destroying any vehicle that your team will have. And if you get more used to destroying vehicles, how you should approach them, that kind of thing, you will deal with vehicles before they even realise you're there. And by doing that, you're denying the enemy's tools to do the job, as it were. If the enemy don't have any tanks, they can't say attack an objective properly, etc. The second you start to deny them things, that's the second your team starts to really push home the advantage. Well, when that happens, the game normally is pretty much beyond saving as far as the enemy wins. So there you go. So the engineer just play the role, I guess. I don't know. I couldn't really put a single phrase or superlative to fix this. I mean, look at that. 3 engineers all fixing that tank. They're doing the job. They're keeping their vehicles in the fight. Yeah, it's not a. There's no black magic or anything like that to it. In fact, actually, do I go for a helicopter here? I might have said a little white light. I think I do. I think I get the helicopter, although I'm not in it for long. I remember that. I remember it now. So yeah, the engineer, no black magic or anything like that. It's just, go for the vehicles. Actively seek out the vehicles. Make yourself a nuisance. And, actually, should I say this now? You'll be hearing a story in the very near future about, a time where my whole squad, this being obviously myself, Matt, Tom, and Mike's, we all switched to engineers to take out air vehicles. It resulted in quite a funny story, anyway. So yeah, my conclusions, there's nothing wrong with the engineer in terms of destroying vehicles. It's just the way that people are using the kit. I think that perhaps people are seeing a massive rocket launcher and going, ooh, this could destroy people quite quickly. And yes, you're absolutely right. It would. So, yeah, very lucky one-hit mark kill on that before. I think that was a tank, actually. So, there you go. And of course, another way of dealing with tanks is other vehicles. As well as I hit this damn lamppost. Yeah, I hate lampposts. I always do this. I can say this. I can say this. I'm an engineer. I've got the repair tool. I can keep my vehicle in the fight. Let me just put this down nice and gentle, nice and gentle, nice and... Oh. I think I hit another lamppost or something with the rear rotor. Never mind. So yeah, there's nothing, certainly from my experience, which is wrong with the engineer. It's more, you need to tailor your playstyle perhaps to match the engineer. That is what will start to deal some real damage. And of course, damage is what I'm doing here. So I think really that kind of wraps up what I wanted to talk about in terms of playing the engineer. Destroy those vehicles and use your, your carbine weapon, pistol, grenades, whatever else on the infantry. Or if you get really desperate, use your grenades on the vehicles. We'll see. I have killed a tank once before with a grenade, but I have no idea how little damage it did. Anyway, the engineer, it's a very powerful kit. I think it's just a case of, unfortunately, people not using it to its fullest, and as a result, often vehicles will win out. And, well, to be honest, that's as you would expect. I think if you talk to any active soldier and sort of said, okay, you're on your own, you've got, like, I don't know, say an assault rifle, no explosives, and you've got no way of dealing with a vehicle, what do? They'll probably say, don't engage it. Make people aware of it. Of course, that means spotting, ladies and gentlemen. Deal with that threat. Spot it, so you don't have to worry about it. And then, yeah, just, don't even risk your life. It's often not worth it. So yeah, the engineer, it's a bit of a misused quantity, I think is the best way to put it. Hopefully, as you'll see, sort of just the way I move, the way I attack things, you might be able to help your team as an engineer do even better. So yeah, the engineer, it's a great kit. To be honest, I very rarely use it. I don't particularly like destroying vehicles. I like to be a little bit stealthy in the way I play. Firing a massive rocket launcher kind of gives you away. But yeah, it's a great kit. It has, a unique aspect on the whole sort of battle experience dealing with vehicles and stuff. I'll just leave it at that. Anyway, so I've got, let me have a look here, about another 10 minutes or so to talk about what I say. Well, what am I going to talk about? Well, a couple of things. First of all, and yes, I did kind of move this into the middle for a reason. I'm going to try and avoid the blubbering, but seriously, I am still amazed at how amazingly ridiculous you viewers and subscribers are. My video saying thank you got even more positive response than my initial video. So I don't know if this is going to be like a cyclical thing that I say, even more, you guys are freaking awesome, and I get more likes. I don't know, but I'm not just saying it for saying its sake. It really does, it has really put a little stride in my step as of late. You might be wanting to know, well, why the hell am I making these videos? If for example, and as I've said, I'm not doing it for money or anything like that. Well, gaming is a hobby, right, for me, and the thing is, obvious, it's when I started, well, back in 1997 playing games, it was quite kind of niche. Niche is probably the wrong word, but there weren't that many people to talk games to. There were my friends, well, at that point, primary school, elementary school, who also played games, but there wasn't like, I don't know, an informed mass of people. Massive, one way of putting it. Informed group of people to talk to. And obviously, since the dawn of the internet and everything's become a lot more connected. And obviously, since, if you will, the rise of the YouTube uploader and everything else, well, there's kind of been little communities building, discussions building, all the rest, sharing advice, insights, tips, whatever it may be. And well, I wanted to share the skills and knowledge that I'd gained. Well, as this video probably is directly, for example, talking about just the engineer kit, how to get the best out of it. As I inadvertently realised, hang on, I've been using this HK53 for a while. I haven't got anything on it. Let me put some toys on it. As you're going to see, it turns it into an absolute beast of a weapon. Slight digression aside. So yeah, I wanted to have a forum is probably the wrong word, but I just want to talk games to people who played games on a wide, sort of a wider audience, rather than just say someone I knew, if you will, in real life or anything like that. But just talking games, it's good. It's a shared interest, whatever else. It's good to do. So that's what I want to do, and this is a hobby for me, for sure. I'm not looking to make my sort of living doing this, as some people have turned to once having started, making these videos, these kind of things. So that's my objective here, and certainly that's how I intend to continue. So when I get all this great feedback, people leaving really freaking awesome comments, and I do read them all, and I try to reply to them all where I physically can, be it private message on YouTube, PSN, or just general comment on a video saying it's really maybe go, this is great, this is exactly what I wanted, and it's just made the experience all the sweeter in general. So a massive thank you. Really, it's starting to realise what I wanted to try and achieve. So obviously I want to try and get more people to watch, more discussion, more debate, whatever it may be. You can have, as far as I see it, you can never have too much of a good thing at this point in time anyway. So yeah, I'm just really happy with the way things are going, and I really genuinely do mean it. It means an awful lot that I've had such good feedback, because you might not think it, but you kind of put yourself under a lot of pressure when you make videos like this, because you want it to be the best you can be and all that kind of stuff. And to see people like what you're producing, it validates you putting the time and effort in. So cannot say big enough thank you, guys. It means a massive it means a lot. Okay, so yeah, that aside, that little bit of blubbering. Yeah, tell you what, I'll talk about the HK53 since I've unlocked it. You might be thinking, well, why is it called an HK53? It's a MP5, right? That's what I thought it was before the DLC released, and certainly it's an MP5 body, and everything about it just screams MP5. But actually, this is a version which is basically chambered for the assault rifle round, NATO assault rifle round, that being the 5.56 round, and as a result, it's classed as a carbine, which primarily bummed me out because I was hoping to use the MP5 as part of my recon kit, because I normally play recon, and thus being an MP5, firing normal pistol bullets, parabellum, 9mm parabellum, that would make it all kits because it'd be a submachine gun. Alas, not, but still, it's a great weapon. I think you can tell that just by the way I've been able to hose people down. It does kick. There is a little bit of recoil. It feels like it pulls up to the right a bit, but the second you kind of get used to the way that it fires, you can counter that immediately, and it's like a laser. It really is. It's maybe 3 or 4 bullets to kill. You fire, you fire, you fire. You nail the target down. Great bit of great weapon, and it's really nice and easy to unlock as well. Just as I've said, fixed vehicles. I think it's fixed vehicles 10 times, and then as I got a nice little kill there on that helicopter, I was kind of like, I can't believe I just did that. Awesome. And then I get the capture of this flag here as well, so 690 points. Yes. Celebratory destroy poor parked car. yeah, the HK53, 10 repairs, and I think it's 1 kill with the repair tool to get it, so not that bad. As for getting the kill with the repair tool, I think you've seen one guy running around with a repair tool during this gameplay, probably trying to do that. My advice, try and find an unaware recon who's like aiming down scope and everything else set up with the bipod. Maybe shoot him one or twice with your pistol so it'll weaken him up, and a quick, old jab of the flames to the face. When I got my kill with it, I got a headshot with it, so that seemed to annoy him. So yeah, the HK53, great weapon, and obviously the next weapon, it's the QBU something or other, and certainly from the gameplay I've seen of it being used in trailers and things, it looks pretty damn meaty as well. So as and when I get to unlocking that, I'll probably leave a little discussion of that. However, what I have been doing recently is playing with the L96 a lot, that being the bolt action sniper. I've unlocked that, and wow, that's all I'm going to say about that. I'll leave my impressions on that for another video, since we're wrapping up here with 2 tickets left on their team. And yes, with that, I may as well wrap up the video, I guess. So as I get a little bit confused here by what's shooting at me, can you spot the massive dust cloud coming from yonder spawn? Anyway, good shot from him. Nicely done to range in the shell. Anyway, so yeah, let's wrap up this video. So guys, thank you very much as always for watching, and as I've kind of talked about, it does mean a lot. Please do leave a comment if you want to see for example another sort of kit guide or something like that, or general general sort of questions. I will answer them, and as you're going to see, I'll be uploading a video just answering questions very shortly. So so yeah, do leave a comment. Any feedback or anything like that, it is much appreciated. Please again do leave likes, dislikes if you like or dislike the video. As I've said before, it's the only way I can kind of tailor if what I'm doing is good. So far it's been massively in the positive swing, which is great. I have had a few dislikes. If you're watching and left a dislike, please tell me exactly why, or it could be a troll, who knows. But yeah, 29 and 13 on that map when normally you get very few infantry kills. I was pretty pleased with that effort, and obviously 8,000 points, MVP and all the rest, and more importantly winning the game. It's all good. It's all good. Anyway, so yeah, leave comments, leave likes, dislikes, whatever you believe the video deserves. And if you're new to my videos, you can always subscribe for more videos if you like them. And yes, with that, I will say goodbye. So thank you very, very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this gameplay and tips, and well, I'll see you out on the battlefield.